Hello and welcome to BBC World News. We begin in India, now the country with the third highest confirmed number of coronavirus cases in the world. There were more than 24,000 new infections recorded in the last 24 hours. That means the total stands at around 700,000 and the number of deaths is now close to 20,000. Our correspondent in Mumbai, Yogita Lamai, has more.
There's been particularly a surge reported from southern India. The death toll there, as you pointed out, is around 20,000. But I think there are serious questions about whether that is an understated number as well. Indian authorities have been repeatedly pointing out that even though the number of cases on the whole are rising, the mortality rate in India seems to be lower than other countries with a comparable number of cases. But over the past many weeks, we've spoken to frontline doctors who say that COVID deaths are not being properly counted. Sometimes, the comorbidity that a person might have is listed on the death certificate rather than COVID-19. In some places, they've told us that people who were brought in dead, even if they have COVID-like symptoms, are not tested, and therefore they're not counted among COVID deaths. And finally, of course, even before coronavirus hit India, the system of recording deaths sometimes, is much delayed, and therefore there are worries that the number of deaths could actually be far lower than the actual mortality that we've seen in India because of coronavirus.
Yogita, and yet this is the country with one of the strictest lockdowns anywhere in the world.
That's right. And, in Mumbai, where I am, which is the city with the highest number of deaths, for example, there's been a very nominal easing of restrictions. We've had public transport back on the streets to some extent. There are restrictions on how many people can be in a vehicle. Only 10% of staff of private offices can actually go to work. Everyone else has to work from home. Even now, there are checkpoints around the city to ensure that people are not going out unnecessarily. In some other parts of the country, because of the rising number of cases, stringent lockdowns have been reimposed. And then in contrast, you have Delhi, which is opening up monuments, tourist sort of places up today, even as the number of coronavirus cases are rising. But leaders there say, can we afford to keep the economy locked down? We have to learn to live with this virus now. So a real tightrope walk for leaders in different parts of India.
Our correspondent in Mumbai, Yogita Lamai, there.